Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a truly fascinating memoir by Eva Feld called Yo in Plural, which translates to I in Plural. It's a book that really tears apart the whole idea of having one single, stable self, and it does it with this raw, poetic honesty that is just absolutely captivating.
Right from the very first page, the book hits you with this unforgettable line. Feld compares herself to a worm that, when you cut it, doesn't die but just multiplies. It's a strange, almost unsettling image, but it is absolutely the key to her entire story. She's telling us from the get-go, I'm not one person, I am many, all living inside the same body.
So what does that actually mean, to live as an I in plural? Now, for Feld, this isn't just a metaphor for, being moody or having different sides to your personality. No, it's a literal state of being. Her memoir is all about exploring a life defined by contradiction, where she is constantly trying to manage these separate, often conflicting worlds inside of her. To really get her story, you kind of have to throw out the whole idea of a single, straight-line life story. Feld's life is much more like a play, with a whole cast of characters, and she's playing every single part. Each one is distinct, each one feels completely real, and, well, they are very often at war with each other. So this identity of hers, it's not simple. It's really a mosaic, pieced together from all these powerful and often clashing forces that shaped her life. You have this collision of profound, personal love, right up against paralyzing fear. You have passionate political dreams crashing into the harsh reality of exile. These aren't just background themes. They are the very things that build who she is.
Okay, so where did all this fragmentation even begin? For Feld, that first split, the original crack in her identity, it was created by the two completely opposite poles of her childhood, her father and her stepfather. Her entire childhood was basically a state of constant emotional whiplash, being yanked between two men who were polar opposites. And this wasn't just, a tricky family dynamic, it was the origin story of her plural self. It set up this lifelong pattern of living in these deeply divided worlds.
I mean, just look at this contrast. On one side, you have her biological father. He represents this world of adventure, of intellect, of laughter. He's this prohibited love, because she could only see him under strict rules, which made their time together even more precious. But then, back at home, there was her stepfather, a man she chillingly nicknamed Cancer Barrow, like Cerberus, the three-headed dog guarding the underworld. He ruled a world of silence, fear, and just explosive, unpredictable rage. She was always shuttling between these two extremes.
And if you need one story to perfectly capture this divide, get this. She remembers this perfect, joyful day sailing with her dad, filled with freedom and laughter, but they got back just 5 minutes late. And for that tiny delay, she was met by her stepfather's rage, a rage so intense she says it felt like it could cut steel. Think about that whiplash, from pure joy to pure terror in a matter of moments. That became the rhythm of her life.
Now, this internal division, it didn't just stay within her family. As she grew into a young woman, she took this fractured self out into the wider world, desperately searching for a political ideology, something, anything, that could finally make sense of it all.
And it was a restless search. In 1972, she's in Paris, swept up in all the revolutionary energy. From there, she travels to Budapest, hoping to find the utopian promise of socialism made real. But after that turned out to be a huge disappointment, she's back in Venezuela, trying to build a better world with her own two hands through grassroots activism. It was this constant search for a home, not just a place to live, but an idea to live inside of.
And this quote just captures that disillusionment perfectly. The beautiful dream she was chasing, this humanism of the new man, it just smashes against the cold, paranoid reality of a bureaucratic state. For her, it wasn't just an intellectual disagreement. It was a deeply personal and painful stumble with reality.
So you see the pattern, right? Her world is split by fathers, it's split by politics, and surprise, surprise, her romantic life becomes another labyrinth of these conflicting selves. She falls for two men who could not be more different, and each one represents a different part of her own plural identity.
Her two great loves basically embody this split. First, you have Jose, the mime. With him, communication is silent. It's artistic. It's all about this magical, sensory world they create together. It's about freedom. And then you have Yvonne,
the revolutionary. With him, it's a world built on political dialogue, on rigid discipline, and a shared ideological mission to change the future.
The way she describes her time with José is just beautiful. Their relationship is a dance. His apartment isn't even a real place in her memory. It's a feeling, a space that had no location on planet Earth. It was a world totally outside of normal rules, built entirely on their silent, intuitive connection.
But here's the kicker. That magic was totally dependent on him being there. The second he was gone, poof, the enchantment just vanished. That space that existed outside of reality deflated back into nothing more than a simple apartment. It's such a powerful illustration of how one single person can literally construct our entire reality.
And then there's this quote from Ivan the Revolutionary, which is just so telling. It's gentle, it's even loving. He calls her Gordita Bella, this sweet, affectionate nickname. But what he's actually saying reveals this huge, uncrossable gap between them. He sees her clearly. He knows that one of her selves, the free-spirited, artistic one, can never truly fit into his rigid, ideological world. He sees her plurality, even when she can't quite see it herself yet.
So, this is the crucial question, right? After all these fragmented pieces, the fathers, the lovers, the ideologies, where does that leave her? What does this I in plural finally add up to?
And honestly, this is what makes the book so brilliant. It totally resists giving you an easy answer. There's no big moment where all the pieces finally click into place and she becomes this one whole healed person. Feld is suggesting that maybe that's not the point. Maybe identity isn't a destination you arrive at. Maybe it's just something you are in all its glorious, messy complexity.
In the end, she doesn't choose one self over the others. She is all of them, all at once. The devoted daughter exists right alongside the terrified stepdaughter. The hopeful idealist is in there with the cynical activist. Her final identity isn't one of those selves winning out. It's the container that becomes strong enough to hold all of these conflicting truths at the exact same time.
And so Feld's story leaves us with this really big, provocative question that kind of challenges everything we think we know about who we are. Are we on some journey to discover our one true, authentic self that's hiding somewhere deep inside? Or is living itself a constant act of creating the many different selves we need to navigate our own complex worlds? It's a question that really, really stays with you.